Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Creative Businessmen. Today's episode we have the band Chuck Mountain on with us. Really great guys, very talented musicians. They talk about their experience in music and the business of music, the business of art and creativity, which you can apply to different areas of your life or different businesses. But it was a fun episode. I think you guys will get something out of it. I think you'll enjoy it. I know we did. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Here you go.
You guys got together in 2017, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How'd you find each other?
Look at old Hop's Burger Bar.
Wait, did y'all get together in 2017?
Yeah.
Or was that, I was later?
We got you
were
in
later.
2018, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got him in 28. I hired him as a guitar
Instructor.
instructor. Everything instructor. Guitar center.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
What instruments do you each play? Do you play one instrument? You have multi?
We both play a whole bunch of things.
Hell yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
one-trick pony. I just play drums. I guess cajon, too, so.
Yeah.
Percussion. He's a percussionist.
Hell yeah.
I ran into these guys at Westerwood
Oh, yeah.
okay.
back in 2019.
Yeah.
I think it was, I guess all three of you were playing.
Yeah, that was our
The open mic.
weekly
Yeah.
weekly
yeah.
haunt, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do like solo, and then all three together.
Right.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually got to the point we all just played with everybody, so we just sit
Yeah.
out there for ever.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used
We'd
to,
always play back to back to back. So.
used to hang at Westerwood. I spent a couple years there, I think.
Yeah. I know. We were like, it was like every Tuesday we'd go to Maddie's open
Yeah.
mic, but then Mikey was working behind the bar.
I love
She-
Mikey.
I know. She moved to Kansas.
Yeah. She's doing
Kansas?
great.
Yeah.
Had a baby.
Yeah.
Got married.
Yeah,
moved to
man.
Kansas.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you guys playing again. I know
Yeah.
during the pandemic,
Yeah. It was very interesting for sure.
you started welding or something, right?
Yeah. I started a welding company last year, and I'm extremely busy these days, but it's,
Yeah, that's good.
How long have you been welding?
for 2 years now.
2 years, and you got a company.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I got, like, right out of school, I got picked up by, there's a YouTube channel called weld.com.
Okay.
And they're, like, the biggest welding channel. I was in a competition with them. Like, they did a student competition. I got second place out of, like, the whole U.S. And then
Nice.
they asked me to be a host when I got out of school. So
You did make it hard on yourself.
I did. I found out I was going to be in the competition like while I was on vacation, and the deadline was like the day after I got back to like, because you had to shoot a video and send off your plate and everything. And so I shot the video. Like I got back, I had one chance. They were like, okay, like I was like, I need to film a video of me welding out a plate, and they were like, okay, well you get one chance, like because you can't be here like after everybody's gone.
Oh,
So it was my instructor filmed it on my camera, and it was one take, just going. It was not the best weld ever, but it passed. It passed.
What was the one thing, too? You thought you couldn't use something? And then
Oh
when
yeah,
you-
I did. Like I thought I wasn't able to use a grinder because for some reason I've read in the I thought I read you can't use a grinder, so I was like just scraping it out with a file really fast and just like running it super hot to try to burn everything out, but. It worked. They just liked my personality more than my weld.
Well, that's important too, yeah.
Yeah. So they were like,
Communication.
this guy knows how to be on a camera and also weld. Let's pick him up. So,
You guys just you had mentioned you're starting a podcast coming up.
we're trying. I mean, we're doing a weekly video, trying to be weekly. We'll say quotation marks weekly, but either weekly or bi-weekly. The Brews Rock, like we're trying beers from... First, it's going to be the breweries that we play at a lot.
Hell yeah.
And then we're going to start doing themes, but then we're going to have, like, guests on. Like, there's a bartender down at the Little Brother and Graham.
Yeah, she's the bar manager.
Yeah,
Okay.
she does a bunch of collaborations, and she wants to come on. So we'll have guests talk about beer. It's
Very
just
cool.
like we drink beer, talk about it.
It's awesome.
Nice.
We're no cicerones, but
Are you guys pretty booked up now?
yeah. Yeah, we're booked. We have shows on the schedule until November right now, but there's
Wow.
a couple gaps. But right now, we're playing pretty much every week until like the middle of June.
Is that coming out of the pandemic when there's a lack of performance and spaces and all that, and spinning your wheels, and then now kind of hitting the ground running, just taking everything you could possibly get?
Well, it's funny. Like, so when we came out of COVID, it was just like all of a sudden, like all the breweries were hitting us up because like we had played a lot of places before COVID, but then it was just like everybody and their mother was like, yeah, come play. So we were booked up pretty much as soon as everything opened up, and then we haven't really tried to book shows in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And so then this year we started reaching out to a couple people, but then it was just like an avalanche coming in.
That's great, man.
So we all work during the week, so we try to just do like maybe Thursday through Sundays,
Gotcha.
but mostly like Friday, Saturday, Sundays.
What's the?
Hey man, pull that mic to you just a little bit
Oh
closer.
yeah.
There you go. That's good.
There you go. What's the? So with the full schedules, life, work, making actual money and stuff like that. And then now with the band on the weekends, and as you guys get better and better and gel together, what's the goal with the band? I mean, ideally, if it could be full time, is that a thing you guys are looking at?
That's the hope,
Yeah.
is to do that full time. But
Yeah, we were actually like on the way to do that before the pandemic,
Yeah.
and like I had just quit all my jobs and was like, I think I was bartending like 2 nights a week, and
Yeah.
then pandemic hit. And so
Wild, man.
so now back into the having a day job and doing this, and like really trying to push a lot
It's
of
a sentence you hear from artists a lot. Is I just quit all of my jobs.
yeah.
All of them, because you need multiple people. Especially if they see you do a show on a weekend, they just these guys are rolling in it, and it's like, I work 90 hours a week to barely pay the bills.
Yeah. Survival jobs.
Yeah, man.
What did you guys do during the pandemic?
I lost my mind.
yes,
I think we all did on that point. I lived with my college roommate, and so he and I had kind of kept each other sane for a little bit, and I kind of just vegged out a lot and just didn't really do much.
Yeah.
Kept up with these guys as much as we could. We didn't see each other for the first 3 months or so.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I got into gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's cool.
Grew some watermelons.
Hell yeah, man.
Anything to fight the depression.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Keep
felt
busy.
like a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was no fun.
Yeah.
We all got into. Well, Jeff and I both started Twitch.
Okay.
Oh.
We started playing on Twitch, and it was like 1 month of like going hard on it. And we're like, never again.
My schedule was like on there like every other day, and it was like at a certain time like every other day, and then like the first week it was every other day at that time. Next week it was like the first, and then like the last of the week, and then it was like one time, and then it got to the point to where my family had like asked me to do birthday shows on there, so they could all like hop into the chat and be like, I would sing happy birthday and all that. That was the only time I would get on there at the end.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's someone's birthday. Yeah, I'll get on here and play.
What were you
some
guys?
songs.
What were you guys playing on there?
Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom. There's always people requesting Stacy's mom.
They were all in the UK.
Yeah.
Really?
A bunch of people in the UK, they'd be like, play Stacy's mom.
Did you
Play
have a big
Stacey's
following?
mom." No. No. It was growing, but it was like, you sit out, like you're supposed to, one of my old roommates, like was full-time streamer for years and years. And he was like, you got to play at least like 5 hours. And I was like, no.
Yeah, and some of those hours there's 0 people there, so you're just
Right.
looking
Going
at a
through the
screen.
motions.
playing
Yeah.
songs.
Or if there's like
Rehearsal.
2 people, it's us. That was our
Yeah,
hangout
yeah,
for a
yeah.
little bit. We would sit there and just chat with him through the chat, and it was
I hopped on Twitch for a little bit. I don't understand. I needed like 12 people to come in and help me with it.
Yeah.
But I was doing it for a little while, and then I was like, oh man, it's got to be super easy to just go on and hang out, and it is.
it's difficult.
It is,
There's a
man.
lot.
It's way more difficult than
OBS.
I assumed it was. Yeah.
OBS is not your friend.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
tried
anyone's
twitching
friend.
some video games that I played, and I was just like, this is just too difficult. Like,
Yeah.
Well, in playing music, you're like, a lot of times you're reading lyrics, and then you also have this comment section where like people are asking you questions, and so you're trying to read lyrics and comments and respond and still play and sing, and it was just like, it stressed me out so much. Like, I would be done with my stream at the end of the night, and I would just be like shell shocked.
Yeah.
It's like an art form in itself.
Yeah.
And with
not for
the podcast now, is that just more up your alley? Is a little more, you just record it and do it later, and
Yeah.
it's just a little bit easier, I would guess, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
think
just
drinking beer is definitely
Yeah.
up our alley.
Beer,
Definitely
right
up
up
our
our alley. Like, it's just us kind of hanging out and talking about beers. you
Yeah,
know?
man.
And
first impression, just kind of seeing what we like about it, what we don't like about it, if there's something like that. We never do a negative review on the beer, but we just
Yeah.
are honest.
So where can people find it if they're looking for that?
It's on our YouTube channel,
Okay.
which I don't know if we have a URL yet. We have to
Okay.
build up the subscribers, I
Yeah,
think. But yeah, just search Chuck Mountain. It's on YouTube, and then it's also on our Facebook page too.
Hell yeah.
Okay, cool. I was happy to see you guys kept the band together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even
Couldn't-
after 2 years.
Jeff bought the house right next to me, so
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
there's
Hold
no
each other
escape
accountable.
now.
No escape now.
Yeah.
He's not showing up. You just can knock on his door.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, come on.
Are you guys? Are you performing mostly locally? Are you traveling or?
This year we're trying to not play Greensboro more than once a month.
Okay.
Like
Oh.
last year we were playing
Yeah.
like multiple
man.
times in a week.
You can
but-
burn out your audience and
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we like right now we're trying to just stay in Greensboro once a month, and then we're playing like this month we're playing Graham, and then we're playing in Concord
And we're playing at Smithfield.
and Smithfield.
Oh, yeah,
That's cool.
So
Going
we're,
out pretty far, yeah.
yeah, and then in April we're making a run out to Nashville.
Very cool.
So we haven't been out there in a while. So
Yeah, it's
When was the last time you guys were out in Nashville?
2019.
2019. Yeah.
Was that the Alabama Rose?
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
It's like
Yeah.
October,
Good
October
time.
2019. That was not a long trip. We drove out there the day of, played the show, and then woke up the next morning and drove back home.
Well, that's because we played a show the night before.
Yeah, we played a show the night before at the Flatiron, actually.
Oh, okay.
And then,
Yeah.
You guys play in Charlotte much?
We play at like right outside of Charlotte. We play at a place called Cabarrus Brewing.
Okay.
It's really cool. They have this like big
like up
beer
near,
garden.
what is that little town there?
Concord,
Concord. Or not Concord, but it's.
Hickory?
No.
No, it's between Concord and Salisbury.
Oh.
I don't know.
It's in Cabarrus County, though, I think.
Yeah, Cabarrus County for sure.
I don't know exactly what township it's in, but yeah.
Yeah, I know the area.
Then we played at the Rabbit Hole in Uptown Charlotte a few times
Okay.
back in the day.
That was pre.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was
Pre-Jeff.
pre-Jeff.
That's pretty Jeff.
How much experience did you guys have playing gigs and traveling individually before you guys got together?
Well, I played in a few gigs in high school, and I would do jazz band, so I had a kind of a feel for playing out, but not really as much of the traveling aspect. I was in a country cover band that never really did anything,
Gotcha.
and then I probably have the least experience, but I've loved it.
Yeah. I've been in multiple bands. I was in a band in LA. We played a bunch out there, and then moved to Nashville with that band, and then went on tour for playing bass with a couple different bands out there. And I've just been playing a lot.
Hell
I like
yeah,
playing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've been in a couple different bands, but they've all been local. So
Yeah.
Right.
I've done the band thing in Greensboro. I've done some traveling, but not really anything extensive.
What's it like traveling together now? Do you guys travel well together?
We're pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
It's difficult to find, right? Like,
Yeah.
you end up on the road with some savages sometimes. And it's rough, you know?
Yeah, we're pretty kind to each other.
Good.
Like if somebody wants to sleep in the back, we'll just film them. You know, But we won't wake them up.
Yeah.
I would
Sammy-
like to know, I've never been in the back. I've never been allowed to be in the back.
Yeah.
I also don't mind, so.
Sammy stresses me out when he drives.
Okay.
So Sammy doesn't drive as much as me and Jeff, but
I drive a good amount.
That's how you get out of driving.
But,
you know what
I mean, I also,
Yeah, I'd be bad at
you
it.
just drive bad the first time. You never have to do it
well,
again.
my
It's
dad
like-
was a state trooper, so
Gotcha.
when he
Oh,
taught me
okay.
how to drive, he was like, you can't be defensive. So I was
Right.
taught to be aggressive.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's
and
good, yeah.
It stresses me out.
Yeah.
And, well, you have a funny video somewhere on our Instagram of the mountains. And
I hate
the mountains are already stressful enough, but he hates being in the windy mountains next
Yeah,
to
man.
18-wheelers.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's screaming at the 18-wheeler, and I'm crying, laughing, and I'm trying to keep my eyes open because I'm in a curve next to an 18-wheeler, next to a cliff, and he's just like screaming at the 18-wheeler. He's recording in the back, dying laughing. I'm dying laughing, and I can't see where I'm going.
I think that was the first trip to Nashville.
That was, yeah.
Okay.
And that was like probably the last time I got to be in the back. If he's driving, he's in the
Yeah,
back.
I mean, luckily, when we came back, he took a nap in the back, and we were fine. And I'm glad because it was really windy, and I was not having a fun time driving that.
While driving through the Tennessee mountains, too.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I hate that drive. I used to do it like when I lived out there for about 4 years, and like every time I come home, my parents live in Raleigh, so I have to make that 9+ hour drive, and that was the worst part. It was like halfway. I was like, okay, I'm halfway there, and it's the worst part. So awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the back half of a drive that you've been expecting all day, it either goes by in a second or it lasts forever. It's
Yeah.
Especially as you get older. When I was younger, I used to take 14-hour drives, standing on my head. It didn't matter. And now it's like I got to stop 5 times and sleep at a hotel.
Yeah.
I just can't make those long runs. I can't do anymore.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of more than if I'm in a car for more than 6 hours, I get super grumpy.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah,
like,
5 hours is like my cutoff. If
Yeah.
it's more than 5 hours, I fly.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to fly.
Yeah, it'd be
I
great.
love to fly everywhere, but like taking all the equipment, it's just gotta.
Yeah, you gotta have to. Yeah.
And you guys, do you play mostly acoustic? Do you have electric stuff or?
We do. Well, you're usually full electric. so,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
It's
Minus
loud.
drums.
Loud.
I don't get electric
Yeah,
drums.
he doesn't need. He's got plenty of bells and whistles on his drums already.
Beau was telling me he used to hang out at the Idiot Box forever ago.
Oh,
Probably
cool.
what, 10 years ago or so?
It was okay. So I graduated college in 2010. So it was probably like 2008 to 2010. I was down there.
Very cool, man.
Nice.
And
Yeah, you should do improv with Jenny Stencil, Steve
Oh, that's cool.
Westman. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Neil's been coming out to the club for the last. That's how we met. He started coming out to the club and doing stand up over there.
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I want to get back into improv. It's just I don't have any
Yeah.
time for it.
He's
right
been
now.
trying to get us to
I
take
want us to
class.
go take a class.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Should.
I said I was down.
Seth is taking the next improv class over there. It's Jenny teaches it with Steve. It's really good, man. It's like it helped me a ton just being on stage and getting loose and all of that. And everybody who takes it says it helps their performance in one way or the other. So
Yeah, I think we need to get Sammy in there. He gets
Yeah,
tired.
I was
You
going to
get
say,
Sammy
that
in
just
there.
sounds like the perfect explanation for me to have to do it now.
yeah,
If there's a camera on, Sammy gets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
There's so
I hate it,
you
too.
take photos and I'm the model. But
Yeah.
you do videos and I'm just like, okay.
Isn't it weird? It's a thing I've been noticing while I'm trying to get my podcast going. It's like we're sitting around, we're hanging out, and as soon as you turn the cameras on, just the energy is different. It's a difficult thing to do. Were you a shy kid?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess around all my friends, they all say no.
Yeah.
In my head, I've always considered myself shy and
Right.
introverted, but I guess around the right group of people, I'm extroverted.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like feeling comfortable gets you there.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get that.
We try to pamper him into it.
Yeah. I was looking up some of your stuff. What's the name? What's the name come from? How did you guys find that?
This is all you, Beau.
I used to when I was in Nashville. I was working at a club called The Basement.
Okay.
And it's this like so. There's a record store called Grimey's up top, and then it was the basement down in the basement of the building. And they had some in-store performance at Grimey's. It was like some younger artist. So there was like a bunch of like high school kids at the record store, and Grimey came down. And he was like, "Don't let any of these kids in. Like if they're not 21, they're not coming in." I was like, "Oh, I'll choke them out. Or, I'll chuck them out, man." And he was like, "Chuck Mountain?
Yeah.
That's a great nickname. That's your nickname now."
Oh,
And
no
so
shit.
it became my alter ego when I went a little bit too hard at it.
All right. Very cool, man.
Chuck Mountain is fun, but the actual Chuck,
Chuck-
he's not fun.
He stays away now.
Yeah, Chuck Mountain doesn't get to hang out anymore. So
That's funny.
Have you guys recorded anything together? You got any plans to record, or what do you got out there?
Yeah, so we've done like 5 tracks I think
Okay.
that are out right now on our Spotify that we did. We did one in Nashville, and I think all the rest we did in my personal studio that I have called Lazy Dog Recordings. Right now we're working on an album that we're trying to come out in October.
yeah, October.
Everything's been tracked. We tracked over at Earth Tones with Benji.
Okay.
Super cool guy.
Yeah,
And-
Benji's super fun to
awesome
work with.
space, too.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to this. It's more like open, I think, but it's like the similar kind of style where he has a studio over there. So we've gone over there like 2 or 3 days and just like hit the ground running, tracked all our stuff, and then we have a buddy of ours mixing right now in Nashville. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you guys produce your own stuff. So you don't have a record label or anything, right?
Nah,
That's
we
good.
don't need no label.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
We don't put labels on things. You know?
No gatekeepers.
Yeah. No, I was on a label for a while, and it was an interesting experience, and maybe someday, you know, if I mean, we just have the ability to do pretty much everything that a label does for you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense unless someone's like, "Hey, we could do this better," and then.
Or if you just like making someone else money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like giving your money away, I don't. So I don't expect.
You got to have money to give it away.
Yeah, I
You
know.
what mean?
It's like, hey, you want 100% of nothing?
Yeah.
Well, I have a buddy who just got signed to a label, and he said basically they did all the recordings, they paid for everything, and then the label just gave them money to promote it for like a year.
Right.
And I was like, so basically the label is just a credit card?
Right.
Like,
Right.
if all I need is a little money to start pushing my own thing, then like, why don't I just go ahead and give me a bank loan?
Yeah,
you know?
and avoid the high interest of the recording label.
Yeah, or
Right.
signing off the rights to the song.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the big
Losing
thing, right?
all your stuff, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know that very well.
Yeah, aren't there some songs we can't really like record or play because they still are owned?
It's finally I can re-release stuff now.
Okay.
But
Really?
It
Oh,
was
that's
like
good.
it was like 5 years where I couldn't do anything with the songs that I recorded with them or the CD that I had recorded myself, and then they re-released it. So I was just like
Oh.
a bunch of songs that I just couldn't. I mean, even like licensing was a nightmare trying to do stuff with. It's just so much easier to just have a one-stop shop, you know.
Right.
It's like if somebody wants to use it, they ask us, and it's like, yes, you're good.
That's
you know?
awesome. That's
Instead of being like, hold on, let me get on a couple email chains real
Yeah,
fast.
let me send you the manager who's going to send you to his manager.
Yeah, and it's just like having to have more. Like if I have to ask somebody and it takes like 24 hours, you know, it's gone. You know,
Yeah.
especially in like the licensing world. Like if somebody wants to use your music and you can't give them an answer in a day, like they
On to the
already have
next.
somebody
They
else.
found something else, yeah.
So it's just been, you know, that everything in the industry has changed so much, you know, even pre-COVID, you know.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And then now it's just like everything's online, and online has become like this big hub of music, you know. So it's a very dog-eat-dog world out there.
Are you noticing more and more of the musicians you know kind of going into business for themselves and doing what you guys are doing as far as recording and owning your own stuff? Are people leaning more towards that, or are musicians still chasing the record deals?
I feel like some people, I think that people don't have the right viewpoint on what a label is, you know. It's like, because everybody has the ability to record and do everything. Like, if you have a computer, you can produce your own like songs, you know.
Well, I think some people aren't. Some people don't have entrepreneurial
mindset.
Yeah.
mindsets. Yeah, so you kind of have to understand how business works and run a business.
Yeah.
And I think for some artists, they're so creative they don't have that analytical side that
Yeah,
helps
that's
you run
me.
a business.
I just don't. I don't. Not only do I not understand it, I just don't wanna. You know what I mean? Like it feels like for me, it feels like if I have to lean into the business side of anything, it just takes the joy out of me. Like I just lose the color in my face, and I'm just like, what do I need to do? You know what I mean? It's wild. So
I used to be that way. Like, I was like, all I want to do is write songs. You know, it's like, I just want to create, and that's it. But then, you know, you start having other people help you, and then you realize that, you know, I could just do this all myself. And it might be a pain. It's like a mental hurdle. I feel like you just got to get over.
Yeah.
And once you start being like, all right, we're like this year, on the new year, we sat down and made a list of 10 goals. And like every day we go into the studio, we look at them and we're just like, are we on track? You know,
That's great.
And that's all it is just like accountability is one of the biggest ones. And
Work harder than last year.
yeah, work harder.
We've already
you know.
knocked out some things. We started an LLC in January. We got a bank account rolling with that. So now we don't have to worry about, okay, who gets paid, who keeps up
Right.
with the money. Now it's all in the bank account.
great.
Yeah.
And so that's been really great. And
Being
that was
legit.
kind of a hurdle. That's what you were talking about too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, trying to figure out that whole side of things was not the easiest. Luckily, I
it's
had
difficult
someone,
to stay on track with that stuff and enjoy the art that you're trying
Yeah.
to make. Are you guys all kind of business minded?
I think we're
You guys
becoming
all
more-
looked at him real
Well, I think we're all becoming more business minded. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like this is a really good opportunity for, if one of us doesn't have an idea or doesn't understand, we can lean on each other.
Yeah, man.
And that helps us immensely.
That's fantastic.
I always recommend all artists have LLCs because it gives you some layer of protection from
Yeah.
And we've talked about it for
lawsuits
years.
and stuff like that, especially
Yeah.
bands, because you guys are you're carrying equipment into venues, and you have people can get hurt on your equipment, or you could mess up something in the
we should maybe
venue.
get some insurance.
Yeah, there's some liability, some extra level of liability with what you guys do based on just an actor or a comedian or something.
Astro World, like that just happened.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah, right.
We're not quite to the amount of people that are coming to
So
those
people
shows,
aren't killing each other to watch you.
Yeah, not yet, but one day. Yeah. But yeah, it's just trying to be, it's like adding these extra layers of professional, like having an LLC. It's like, okay, we got to take it to a next, like we're serious. We got to be more serious now.
That's great.
And so my studio has been an LLC for probably like 5-6 years now. So
Okay.
that's probably why they all looked at me, because I've been doing like the taxes and all that other stuff that comes along with
All the fun
running
stuff.
And that's the Lazy Dog recordings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So how long have you been going over there, and what do you got going on?
So it was in my house that I was in. It was like a 3-bedroom house, and it was just me. So like had a bedroom that was attached to a living room that was like a control room and a tracking room. Now that I've bought the house next to Beau, it has a separate shop that we're slowly turning into.
Hell yeah, man.
Drywall. We
Drywall's fun.
learning that.
So you have your own. You guys will have your own studio to do all your recordings at.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We got like little sets now. So
Yeah.
it's like we
very
have our Brews Rock set, and then we have our Live at Linda's, which is we're doing like a weekly live video where because we just bumped up our mixer, so like we can multi-track everything, and like just trying to amp up the professional level of everything.
It sounds like you're doing it, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Yeah,
you guys
for
are well on the way. And
Plus, it gets content out there too. That
Yeah.
way, it's not always, hey, come check out our shows. It's, hey, here's a song we play sometimes.
here's
if you
some
like
value.
it, you can check us out. You know?
Yeah, man.
And you guys are good too. It's good quality music. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks.
thanks.
It's that's a thing that we had a conversation about last night. It's like, I don't know. I think there are some people who can just create content and never even think about it. It's just content. But creating it where it adds value, where you don't really have to ask for anything in return, and it's just like, hey, here's a thing we love. We hope you like it. And
Yeah.
but then there is a disconnect with people who want to support you, not quite knowing how to do it right. And I think that's the thing I've noticed over the last couple of years is how difficult it is for artists to ask for support, because you don't want to feel like a shill who's like, hey, give me money. But
Yeah,
it is like,
exactly.
hey, here's a thing I really love doing. And people can consume that, but what's the next step? You know what I mean? How do they actually support you? And I guess for you guys, it would be by going on the YouTube and finding you on Spotify.
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
That
And
stuff, right?
as you were talking about too, with if a video were to go viral, I mean, that would be, even if they were to watch the video and then just share it, and if
Right.
that person that sees it from the shares it, eventually it could blow up in a way where the video could generate revenue.
That's
Yeah.
the thing that I've been trying to hammer into people's heads. It's like, man, if you like somebody's local stuff, just all you got to do is just share it. Just
Yeah.
keep sharing it constantly.
share
And
it.
it's such a tiny thing that helps in such a massive way. And even if the one video they shared doesn't do much, it helps the next one every time.
Yeah.
There's also millions of people creating content now, so you have to create quality content
Yeah,
because
and it's got to be different too, because everyone
yes.
seems to try to make the same thing. So it's like, how can we be different or quirkier or
something unique and fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's where the whole like Brews Rock thing came.
Yeah.
Like we started playing a whole bunch of breweries. My dad has a bottle shop like down in Fuquay. So like I try all kinds of different beers and talk with beers with him all the time. And then Jeff got a kegerator, so we have 4 beers on tap at the studio. So like we're like very beer minded. So and we're just like, let's just start, like we've been playing with it for a while.
Yeah, we sat on it for what, a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah.
Where we would go, it's like, oh, we're going to do this. And we filmed one forever ago.
Yeah, and it was rough.
Yeah.
But we've gotten better at being on camera and all that kind of stuff.
That's good. Yeah.
Some of us are still learning.
Yeah, some of us are still learning. But that's like just, it's not exactly like, hey, check out our music, but it's just like, hey, we play a lot of breweries. This is what we like. Like we have a passion for this as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, that's cool.
And those are the people that show up to breweries, are the people who really do enjoy it. And yeah, being one of those people is in a group of those people to perform for those people. It's awesome, man. Finding that little niche is is great.
It's also a good end for the breweries as well. Trying to get into a brewery, it's like we'll review your beer because
Yeah,
I mean
man.
we're going to drink it anyways.
Yeah.
Promotion.
And then you're on stage and it's like, hey, everybody drink the one we like. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, except for when you get in trouble for doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were at Cabarrus and we like asked the bartender what he recommended, and he was like, I really like this beer and this beer mixed together.
Right.
And so we were drinking. It was great, and we were drinking them. We were like shouting them out during the show.
Try Tucker's
and,
blend.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Tucker's blend.
And he like
He's like,
came
"Stop
up to
it,
us.
stop
Yeah, he was like, they hate when I mix them. Like, you gotta
Oh,
stop
yeah,
shouting
yeah.
me out.
That's funny. They can do like the suicide beer blend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like an IPA mixed with the sour. And
Yeah,
it was-
Yeah.
so good.
Oh,
was really
sounds
good.
Yeah.
Hope he's there when we play.
He probably will. He's in the doghouse.
Yeah. And
They
then
have-
you just yell it out again. You know what I mean?
Hey, try Tucker's blend.
I even think at one point we're like, "Hey Tucker, bring us some more of those."
But yeah, no, definitely love beer.
Yeah.
And
How do you find the breweries that you want to reach out to and play at? Is there what's the
Typically
protocol?
the beers we like.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of places in Nashville that
Yeah.
that I reached out personally. Going through towards Nashville. Asheville's in the middle there, so I was looking at some of those breweries like Burial. I love their coffee, their donut coffee stout.
So good.
So like when you get a beer like at Best Way or somewhere and you really like it, it's just like let's reach out to that brewery,
Hell
see
yeah.
if they're doing some live music, see if they need someone to come play, and then So it's not really. It's more of like let's go to the places that we are going to actually get the beer that they have there and
Yeah,
like
man.
it than
That's cool.
just trying to get a show somewhere.
And then also
Asheville.
when you reach out to them and you're like, hey, we really like this product. I mean, it's a great way to approach it. What are you gonna say?
I say Asheville has a great music scene too. So
yeah. The Grey Eagle. Hopefully
to get
one
in
day
there soon.
getting in there.
It's
Or the
awesome
orange
that
peel.
the growth of breweries over the last few years. It's almost like every brewery now is a performance space on some
Yeah.
level too,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and North Carolina's the perfect space for that too,
Right.
because I mean it's the brewery capital of North America.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's the most breweries per capita now. It used to be Colorado, but we overtook it I think it was 4 or 5 years ago.
they went to weed.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
They had bigger
As soon as
priorities.
they,
right
as soon as
now.
they legalized it.
They're like, okay, let's get this beer out of here.
Hell yeah. Where you guys each from?
I'm originally from Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but moved out here when I was in high school with my family.
You said Raleigh.
Yeah, like just outside of Raleigh, like Apex.
Gotcha.
How about
I'm
you guys?
from Caswell County. It's about an hour northeast of here,
Okay.
Yeah.
right south of Danville, Virginia. I lived there my entire life, and then I came to Greensboro for college,
Okay.
and then just kind of stuck around.
Yeah, man.
I was born in Maryland.
Okay.
Like it's right outside of Baltimore.
Yeah.
I think my family moved here when I was like 3 or 4, and I've been here ever
Oh.
since.
Yeah, so you're a North Carolina guy.
Yeah, I've been here for most of my life.
In Greensboro or
Yeah, in Greensboro.
Okay.
I went to Greensboro College. I stayed in Greensboro instead of leaving for college for a girl, which is the best decision I've ever made.
when did you guys start playing music?
I started playing when I was in high school. Well, I mean, I started playing when I was probably in elementary school, but started bands when I was in high school.
Okay. What was your first instrument?
Guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
At what age?
I was in 3rd grade. My
Wow.
grandma got me a little guitar, and I had to take lessons. And then I stopped, and then I picked it back up in 7th grade because girls liked guys that could play guitar.
Okay.
I
So
was
like 12 years old, I guess.
Yeah, well, I got held back. So
13.
Yeah,
held
around
back?
then.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep, I did 3rd grade twice.
How about you guys?
So nice.
I started playing drums when, seriously, I guess in middle school. I was probably about 12 years old.
Okay.
But there's a picture of me out there with the old Fisher-Price drum when I was 2.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
Oh, there you go.
my grandparents always said they knew at that point I was going to be a drummer.
Yeah. Very cool.
But
I started on piano when I was. I have no idea. I was.
What brought you to piano? Was it
My parents bought one. I have 2 older brothers, so I think they were like, let's get all the kids piano lessons.
Yeah.
And I started when I was young, and then I stopped for a while, and I went back for a little bit. And then when I hit high school, I was really big into sports. Both my older brothers were sports, so I just was a jock all the way. And then I hit high school and was like, you know what I want to do? Music.
Yeah.
And started a band and joined the jazz band.
Hell
Started
yeah.
trying to learn guitar by myself. So I basically taught myself guitar. And then when I hit college, I was like, yeah, music is where I want to be. So I went to school for music. So I actually have a
Nice.
performance degree in guitar.
Very
So
cool.
you're the
man.
classically trained one, huh?
I want to say yes because I do have a degree in it, but my lessons, like my guitar teacher, we basically would do like folk
Okay.
and like more like bluegrass type stuff
Yeah,
to help with my like folk Americana stuff.
Really difficult stuff to play, though. So that's.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
always
if
say
I've
that
ever told you
bluegrass
this.
is like the heavy metal of country music.
Yeah, if you play it right, yeah, it is.
Do you still play piano?
Yeah, on a couple of the Chuck Mountain tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I'll add some piano to it.
Nice, man.
Just put it right in the back.
I like 3-man bands too. I think it's.
I do
cool.
too. It's
One of our best comments is one guy goes, "I don't know how you got that much sound out of 3 people."
yeah. That's
Yeah.
the
Hell
biggest.
yeah.
That's the biggest.
Compliment.
Yeah.
What was the actual quote? It's on our website.
Yeah.
It's like that's the biggest sound I've ever heard out of a 3-piece.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's cool.
Do you guys loop anything while you play, or
No,
no? Well,
no. We are very technically
Straightforward.
straightforward. You know, it's like I tried to get like one of the big boards and learn all the bells and whistles, and it quickly got chucked out. I was like, nope, let's just go back to like
Gotta return this to Guitar Center and just get something different.
I'm just gonna
Do
trade
you,
it in.
when you're learning something that's technical like that, are you able to stay with music while you're learning new things like that, or is it? I have a one-track brain. Like I can't quite multitask. If I'm being silly and creating over here, and I gotta learn something over here, it's like really difficult for me to do both. Are you able to kind of go between?
I'm very quickly distracted. So
Yeah.
it's like if I run into like if I get frustrated with it, I'll just be like, all right, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
gonna move on. Like I bounce around to all kinds of different things all the time.
It's kind of
So-
one of the things I'm doing here with the studio is making sure that I have stations so that I can come in every day and do the thing I want to do. Because doing a thing that I don't want to do is feels like torture to me.
Yeah.
Well, also having stations would be good because if you do what you want to do and then you get sidetracked, go to another station.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
there's something I can do here. And
Yeah.
then when you get frustrated, just move to another one. Oh, there's something I can do here.
It keeps me doing something instead of
Doing nothing.
dreading one thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, that's a lot like my workflow too. Is like especially like with all the editing nowadays.
Yes.
It's like so I weld as well. So it's like I'll try to edit as much as I possibly can, and then go work on a project, and then we'll probably have a practice or something at night.
Yeah.
So it's like bouncing around, but I've like deadlines have been a really big help. Like
Yeah.
where it's like this needs to come out this time, so we need to have all the editing done. So it's like okay.
And I'm trying to learn the editing too to help take some
Yeah,
weight off his shoulders.
The editing thing, you said you've been working in like After Effects and stuff like that for like 10 years. Do you have a background in that, or was it something you learned specifically so you could do this type of thing?
So when I lived in LA, I had a friend, like one of my best friends out there. He was a motion graphics guy. He works at Paramount now.
Okay.
But he showed me how to make little things here and there. And so I just kind of picked it up, and he would help me out. And ever since then, it's just I do them like from time to time. I don't like to do them, but this
Yeah.
is making me do it a lot faster.
Yeah.
But like I used to do lyric videos for people as well, and those take so long.
It's a lot.
And it's too much. So
You know, I've always, in my mind, like I know the type of stuff I want to make, but I'm not technically inclined. And then so now I have Seth, who's like a really good editor, and I get to watch him do it. But the amount of time that goes into editing a 1-minute clip is wild, man.
Yeah.
It's an underappreciated skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
With you learning it
rule.
now,
I'm
is it?
so good.
What's that?
I was looking at the cameras going, I rule. I'm so good at it.
Are you learning editing now? How's that going for you? Is it coming quickly? Is it a slow process?
It's going pretty well. I bought a new computer because my old one couldn't edit anything very well, and then the computer's a champ, so it takes a lot of the time out of it. But
Nice.
he's helping me a lot too. So at least I have someone who knows what they're
Right.
doing teaching me. And then if I have any questions that he can't answer, I'll pull up YouTube videos. I
Yeah,
think
man.
YouTube's
Yeah,
such
YouTube.
an underrated way to learn a new skill, especially something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Right. It's like the people who are teaching. You
Yeah.
can see if they're good teachers by the way their video is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and also, like, there's a lot of things I still don't know how to do, and I'll be like, it would be cool if I could do this.
Yes.
And then you just look it up real fast, and you're like, oh, that's how you do it, and then just add it to your skill
It's,
set.
I mean, I taught him something, which was fun for
That's
me.
awesome. Hell yeah, man. Every now and again, I'll have an idea, and because I don't know how to edit, in my head everything is possible, and so I'll say something crazy, and I'll hear him like, but then he's like, yeah, I think we can, and then figuring it out is cool, and being able to go to the resource like YouTube and find the stuff there is very cool.
Yeah.
With the recording studio,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do when it's not at the recording studio? What do you do for work now?
Oh, I'm a teacher.
Oh, really? You teach music by chance? Or?
I actually don't. I teach at a Catholic school right now.
Okay.
I teach literature and religion.
Oh, really? All right. Very cool, man.
So yeah.
How long have you been teaching?
I started there last November. No, not this last one, but the one before that.
Okay.
So I've been there for like a year and a half.
Literature and religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it what do you cover with that? I mean, obviously literature and religion, but like.
Yeah, I mean, literature, we do like folk tales, we do short stories, poetry. We do like a couple novel studies, like classic novels like To Kill a Mockingbird
man.
and Bridge of Terabithia.
So you were a writer as well?
Yeah, before this band, I was in a band that I did like all the songwriting and stuff.
Yeah.
And when I got hired on as the literature teacher, I pretty much sold myself that way as like, literature and songs both are stories, and
Yeah,
analyzing those things is kind of similar, so I can do this job. And the principal was like, yeah, I think you can.
So with the songs that you guys are making together, what's the writing process like for you?
A lot of them were like, so I used to, before the band started, I had I was going by Beau James, and it was more like folk Americana. So that's why me and Jeff kind of hit it off, because he was very folky as well. But before that band, I was in a rock and roll band out in L.A., so I had like a catalog of like rock and roll stuff that wouldn't fit into the Beau James stuff, and so then that became the Chuck Mountain stuff.
Yeah, man.
And we're just working through that, and then we write together as well on some of the newer stuff.
Hell yeah.
And Sammy even just pulled out a line the other day.
Hell
He
yeah.
had his first line in a song.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I had a good line in one song, but I don't remember what we did with it.
Threw it in the trash.
I mean, now hearing your background with literature and stuff like that, listening to your music, you can definitely hear that influence in there. It's very cool, man. Hell yeah. Let's see, I had some other stuff written down here. I was going to ask you guys some questions. I was watching, what was the video? We watched, you guys were on NPR with...
The State of Things.
The State of Things.
That was fun.
Frank
I
Sasso.
did I did the State of Things a few years back. I was doing a charity gig in Raleigh, and so I listened to like 4 or 5 episodes because I wanted to get to know him so I could go in and make him laugh. And then when I showed up that day, he wasn't there. And I was like, I had to learn who this new person was and try to make her laugh. On that interview, you guys described your music as driving music. Is that still a description that you use, or is there a?
I don't even
You don't remember
that?
It was
Yeah.
driving music.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's
It's-
kind of one of those. Some of our songs, definitely, if you're driving, your foot's going to get a little heavy.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've actually gotten phone calls from my mother saying that she almost got a ticket just listening to our music.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah, it's all pretty. I mean, definitely, we're trying to add more stuff that's chilled out.
Yeah.
Because like everything has just been like in your face.
Especially at breweries. Like,
Yeah,
it'd be nice to have
breweries,
something
it's
a
just
little
like
bit more.
nonstop, just like punching people in the face with riffs, you know? And
yeah.
so I don't know what I would call it these days. It's definitely shifted more into like the Southern rock like vibe, like with the new record.
Yeah.
It's wild the evolution that comes, right? Like, so when you were writing stuff for the old rock band and didn't maybe really know where it fit in, and then coming back and revisiting it after you've grown a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's easier to find those spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
I with comedy, it's like when you first start, you write all this stuff, you like it because it's all you got, but then you quickly realize it's not good. And I notice a lot of people will throw it out, and I always tell them, like, just keep it, because you'll get better at it. The joke's not bad, you're bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the idea is
it
good.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, and then as soon as you learn how to, it's like the first time you pick up a sword, you're probably not fantastic with it, but after you train a year, the sword never changed. You're just better at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
That's a
your
very good point.
positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like us as a band, we have evolved a long way, like from where we first started to now. Like, because the fun thing is we have clips like from the very beginning to now. On our Instagram, we have like one of our highlights is like live performance. So it's like clips from shows from all the way back in like probably like 2018 to now, so it's cool to see that progression. And
How often you go back and revisit those clips, and what's that feel like when you do?
I don't know. The last
I
time
put it all together, and I was like,
so-
I had put it all, and so I watched it. I was like, this is crazy. Like, how have we not like seen this before? Because I didn't know about the whole highlight reel thing.
Yeah.
And how to do all that.
Well, it wasn't a thing in 2018, so I mean that's been pretty recent.
Yeah. Well, it was like you pull it from the stories, so it's like, and it's cool because it's like people's story. It's not just like our stories. It's
I didn't know
like
that.
people that were tagged in. So it's just cool to see like the perspective from a bunch of different people's eyes.
Yeah. Going back and watching it all together too, and kind of being able to see that growth.
Yeah.
Is.
The style has changed a lot. That's for sure.
Is it, the style you mean like as far as punch you in the face and then slow it down a little bit later on? Or?
No, just like clothing style.
Yeah.
Everybody is like Jeff used to love to wear like Looney Tune shirts and stuff.
Whoa. Let's make sure we got the facts. All right, they were Peanuts shirts.
Okay.
Peanuts.
Yeah,
And
that's
it was-
definitely different.
It was because my
you had
mom
the
got
Looney
me a peanut shirt. Or she still does. She gets me one every year for Christmas. I don't know how it started, why it started. One year she got me a Snoopy gumball machine. And I opened it and she was like, yeah, this is what you wanted, right? And I was like, it's great, but I never said I wanted it.
One time when you were 6, you watched It's a Charlie Brown Christmas, and she was like, that's his favorite.
Yep. She was just like, this is it. Here we go.
He's a Peanuts guy.
Yep.
It's his
I had
identity now.
I had a Muppet shirt. I had the animal. My mom.
gosh.
I used to love Animal, yeah.
Yeah, and I've had the shirt since I was in middle school and was able to wear it up until
I don't get
few years
jealous of possessions very often, but AJ Schrader, a friend of mine, I went to his place to do a podcast a while back, and he had a exact replica of Gonzo.
Yep.
And I'll tell you,
cool.
I think
That's
about
so
it.
cool.
I think about it often.
It used to have its own Instagram.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild.
Dang.
You're talking about evolution of songs and stuff. I remember the first time I played music with him, he pulled out Remedy, you said you were listening to earlier.
Yeah.
And going from back then, it was just a riff and trying to figure out what in the world to play drums on this song. And then to finally get the drums down to something that was close to what we have today. And then seeing the lyrics come along, just actually, I can remember that song just being the guitar. And not knowing anything else that came on it, and then slowly it progressed through. That's probably one of my favorites we've done.
Yeah.
How do you find those additions? When is it just a natural? You're in the middle of playing it, and this feels right, or is it you're in the shower and it pops in your head that you're going to add a thing? Like what?
Sometimes it's like that. I know with that one, he had a certain idea of how he wanted the drums to be. They weren't always on the toms for that point. But it's kind of fast, and I didn't feel like doing just on my hands the whole time. So I decided to I can switch it up between my hands. It'll save muscles.
Yeah.
So when you guys are rehearsing a new song like that, do you? I'm sure you keep playing it over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
But do you stop and write notes down and
We should. We just kind of go through and like we'll get piece by piece down, and then sometimes we'll play through and just be like, stop, no, don't do that. Like change that up,
Okay.
and then we'll try it the next way, and it's like, yeah, that's the way. Keep going on that.
And sometimes we'll play it that way for a few months, and then we'll revisit it again one day in a practice, and we're like, that's never really felt perfect.
and if you're practicing, I guess sometimes you could just do something different
Yeah.
in the moment. And it's like, oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys
And it's
trust
always
each
great.
other a good bit to be able to make some changes on the fly every now and again, or
We're really good
to
at
make it
adapting.
crazy? Good at adapting?
We're good at adapting because, like, we might rehearse things one way and then we play things out,
Completely
and
different.
it's just it's an experience.
Yeah.
For
Does,
sure.
does the amount of beer you've had affect that?
Oh yeah. Like Sammy loves to
speed songs up.
So like especially like if it's like a bigger crowd,
Yeah.
like
I get
then
a little nervous. I still
things
get a
will
little stage
Yeah.
fright. So
it'll be fast, and then we're like just trying to keep up because like some of these riffs are like very hard to play at like 150 BPM.
Right.
It's like just trying to keep up with
I
that.
only sped it up to 111.
But there's some fast, like we've had some
Turns
shows
into
where
some
just like
EDM.
we had played a 40-minute show in like 30 minutes.
Oh wow.
yeah.
Dude, I've done that too, man. Like I'll go on stage and I know I've got 30 minutes, and I've got 30 minutes of material, and I just get antsy. I talk fast, and then I finished all of it in 16 minutes.
Yeah.
And now I've got to kill 14 minutes, and it's, you know.
Yeah, our brewery shows like it's like 3 to 4 hour sets, and we'll have like 50 to 60 songs, and then like by hour 4 we're like,
Shit.
we got to pull out some more. You know, it's like
Luckily, we have songs in the back catalog we can do that with.
oh
That's
yeah,
awesome.
we got back catalogs for days.
Do you guys
Sometimes-
ever? Oh,
Good.
do you guys ever just jam just to fill in space?
We're trying to get better at that. I have a very big stigma against jam bands because it's never been for me. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I don't think it's bad. It's just never been me, and I just never wanted to be a jam band.
Right.
But a jam band can play 6 songs over like 3 hours,
Yeah,
and
'cause
it's
they
like,
just riff.
Yeah.
what is going on? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
and I'm not the best guitar like soloist on guitar. That's like one of my big goals for this year is getting better and better at that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
How do you do that?
practice,
Yeah.
practice,
Hours.
practice. Just
Well, I know you said you have a background in jazz, and that's a lot of.
Oh, I played jazz in high school. I wouldn't say
Oh, okay.
necessarily background. I went to UNCG, and there's a lot of fantastic jazz musicians that if I said I had a background, I would they would find me and
it's more of his lifestyles, jazz, smooth jazz, Sammy Prince.
Riffing through life.
Yeah, riffing through life.
But I
Riffing
mean,
it up.
I love to listen to jazz. I mean, I find it extremely inspiring, especially because a lot of today's music can be mundane and similar.
Yeah.
And sometimes just listening to the music from years past is
Right. Yeah.
kind of inspiring.
I love watching jazz artists.
I do. Have you heard the Jazz Daredevil album? It's I can't remember the guy's name the voice from Bob's Burgers. The main guy, he has an album that he put out.
No, not John Benjamin, is it?
I think
Yeah,
it might be
so.
Benjamin, yeah.
Yeah. So he put out an album called Jazz Daredevil.
Okay.
Where he like hired these like jazz cats. Like this whole band is just full of killers. You know, it's like they just are crushing the jazz game. And he's on piano, and he doesn't play piano. So like
I've heard
he's
of
like
this.
he's
Yeah.
like trying to keep up, and it is. I love playing it.
Does
like
he have like a knowledge of it?
no, he's just like. I mean, he's pretty good for.
Like he at least knows like what notes are.
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes he's on it, you know.
Can we listen
but-
to this later?
Yeah, I mean, like I work at Boxcar, and sometimes, like at the end of the night, where I'm like, "All right, let's start getting people out of here." You throw that on, and it's just like you see people being like, "Okay, jazz." I like, wait, what? It's like, what is that?
I was watching some videos of governments trying to break up protests with music. They should just use that one now.
It's- I mean, I love it. I'll listen to the whole album
Hell yeah.
because it's so funny.
I've done comedy where if there's been a musical set up on stage before me, I'll ask a drummer and a bass player to come up and just play while I tell jokes. But I've never tried to play an instrument. It would be offensive to everyone, I think.
That's how I feel if I pick up guitar. So
Yeah.
I want to learn piano one day, but that's such a complex instrument. I
Yeah,
don't know
it's-
if I could get both fingers going.
Learning any instrument has been daunting to me. I've tried. I've wanted to. I've never tried, but I've wanted to so many times. And I was talking to Neil a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Man, I'd really love to be able to play the piano, just a couple songs, or play the guitar." And I was like, "I don't know why I can't do it." He's like, "Yeah, you just never try." You know what I mean? He's like, "You're just not passionate about it." I haven't been able to spend the amount of time that I know is necessary to accrue the skill.
If you want a little hack for drums, I used to use like Rock Band on the practice mode.
Oh, yeah?
And then I would actually go sit behind my drum set because
Really?
you can't fail in practice mode. And
Yeah.
I knew where things would be with the songs.
Hell yeah.
So that's how I kind of taught myself some different
It's a good idea.
songs.
I play the drums some. I enjoy it. I played guitar when I was a kid, like 16, 15, I think I was 15 when I bought my first guitar. And just self-taught, so I can play a little bit, but not. I'm not a guitarist, not a musician, but I enjoy it. It's like a good creative outlet, way to
Yeah, it's fun to just kind of
work out
get
some
out
energy.
of you like get out of your own world. Like even like playing bass. Like Jeff wasn't a bass player before the band, and I've played bass in other bands too. And like guitar is my number one.
Yeah.
But then playing the bass, it just kind of puts you in a different headspace.
The rhythm.
Yeah, definitely locking into the rhythms and everything.
You dance a lot more when you play bass.
Oh, I love dancing when I'm playing the bass because that's what the bass is there for.
Yeah.
Jeff can dance.
Yeah.
Jeff's got the moves.
That's because you let me play bass. I never played bass before, and then I joined this band. You're like, you're going to play bass. I'm like, all right, I'll figure it out. And now I'm like, yeah, this is a dancing instrument.
Bass is a cool instrument. I've
It's so
been
much
watching
fun.
some of the like high level bass guitarists online, and it's unbelievable stuff you can do with the bass.
Yeah.
I started playing the drums, I guess about 3 years ago, and I really enjoy it. I wish I got a drum kit when I was a kid, because it just felt right. It felt like musically it felt like the right thing to do, and I just immediately was able to pick up, beats and rhythms and stuff, and I enjoy it. I'm still not good at it, but I enjoy it. I can sit there and play for a couple hours, and
That's
relaxing.
my dream instrument. I would love to be a drummer, but I'm so bad. like I'll
I'll
like
have to send you guys the clip of him playing the drums.
yeah. I
He thinks
tried.
it's gone, but it's not.
I always try to like play drums, but everyone would be like, "No, just go back."
It's interesting though to listen to people who are musically inclined talk about how bad they are all the time, because if any one of you popped on any instrument right now, I'd be fucking so happy to watch you do it. Like I go to his house and he's playing the drums and he's like, I'm so bad. I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like
It's not.
it's weird that you guys don't think it's good, but to people who can't play, it's mesmerizing.
I don't even have a right ankle. So.
Hey,
I think
My
you're
kick
always
drum
your
is-
own worst critic.
Yeah.
weak.
That's how you get better, I guess, right?
You should check out the Ghost Inside. Their drummer lost his leg in a bus accident.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Still kills it live. I saw him last September, and I mean, they custom made a bass drum pedal for him.
I was wondering if there was an option like that, because to speed up or give me different options on the kick, so maybe different pressures or something.
I have a video on my phone. When
Yeah,
we're done
I'd
with
love to
this, I'll
see
show it. It was really. I didn't listen to him a lot before, and I kind of knew who they were. And then I watched like his Road to Recovery,
Yeah.
and it was. I cried a lot watching that because I mean it's like all the places that was showing, and like I don't know what I would do if I were to lose a limb and not be able to play drums because I love it so much.
You'd still be able to play, just adapt.
Yeah, but like in my head, that's always my biggest fear. If I break an arm, what am I going to do?
Right, yeah.
And so watching that was very inspirational of you can still do it if you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
So-
Well, it's like the drummer for Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Who are bands either big or local that you guys are either influenced by or who you support personally, like friends of yours or just people that you've crossed paths with?
One of our like good friends, so the guy that's mixing our record right now, his name's Andrew Davis, and he's in a band. They're based out of Nashville, but it's Them Dirty Roses.
Okay.
Like when I lived there, my band gave them their first show in Nashville, and like been really close with them. But they've been like hitting it super hard for past like 10 years, and like they've grown a ton. So like it's been cool, like us getting up and running and like kind of just leveling up, and now we're like, okay, now that's the level we want to get to.
Oh, yeah.
Like we can just reach out, like have a phone call, and just be like, okay, I see you guys playing all these places. Like which ones do you like? Which ones don't you like?
Right.
All your PR, what are you doing for PR? It's like it's really cool having someone that's at the next step that you can just pick their brain.
It's a necessity, man.
Yeah.
Like I know for me with comedy, my last job 10 years ago, I would be in the warehouse listening to my Zune and listening to all the old comedians that I loved, and then doing comedy and getting to meet those guys and ask them what they were doing when they were at my spot or what I'm supposed to do next has just been one of the best tools I could possibly have. So that's awesome that you have that as a resource, man.
It's also great that you're-
Zune, Microsoft Zune. I invested heavily. I did not think Apple was going to make it, if we're being honest. I had a stack of Zunes. I bought everybody a Zune. I was so far on board of Microsoft.
Oh, man.
That's
why I'm not
HD DVDs and
Yeah,
laser
dude.
discs.
Yeah, I still got them.
Hey, I still got a laser disc.
Yeah, yeah,
I
don't
thought that
knock
was going to take off too.
Yeah,
but
me too. I'm still waiting.
It's a record player, but not a record.
Yeah. Who's a band that you enjoy?
I'm not a. It's not a local one, but I was really big into City and Color, just because it's kind of the reverse of what we did.
Really?
Because he was in like a hardcore band.
Yeah.
And now he's City and Color's Dallas Green, and now he's City and Color, which is like folky.
And it's fair. I love him. I got to see him live. Like, my wife surprised me with tickets, like front row tickets, and then we got to go meet him afterwards. He's like one of my biggest inspirations. It's one of our big connections.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Cool. It's great that you guys are improving. Like, I hate to see people that are or artists that are just kind of they just stay
Found
at
a
one
niche,
level and never
stay stagnant,
Yeah, they never improve or evolve.
Well, just the idea that you guys have, that list of goals that you're trying to
Yeah.
meet and staying focused that you can all look at each day is huge, man. And it just shows that you're putting the work in to get better and, learning editing and constantly editing. And it's awesome to see, man.
It's like that in business too. A lot. I've told Eric, you never get caught up. If you get caught up, then either you're dead or you're out of business.
Yeah.
And so you should constantly be creating new goals and new projects and also things change and they're changing more and more rapidly. So you always have to be prepared and kind of try to stay ahead of the game. How do you guys, when you're trying to move to that next level, how do you pick up larger venues and
Well, so a big thing that changed last year and it kind of really sparked the fire under our butts was so we joked about we're like we should see if Odin will make a beer called Chuck Mountain Dew, and we're like that'd just be hilarious, like that'd be so funny.
We never thought they'd do it.
So we pitched it to the Brandon.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, we joked about it one night, and I was like, I'll see what I can do. And I just pretty good friends with the general manager, and I just text him and was like, hey, what do you think about doing a tropical milkshake IPA, calling it Chuck Mountain Dew? We have some ideas about what the flavor profile should be and stuff, but really anything the brewer wants to do, if he'll do it.
We just wanted to have we just thought it was going to be hilarious having a beer. We're just like, that'd be so funny.
great.
And then it happened.
Yeah, he was like, I'll ask, and he asked, and he was like, he said he's full up on stuff, but maybe, and then just one day he texted me out of the blue, was like, it's happening.
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
And so then that kind of spurred us on we should try to do more of these, and then it kind of got the Brews Rock thing going, and then we're just let's just focus on breweries because we're really crushing it on the brewery side. But then we picked up a festival as well this year. We're playing
Nice.
at Power and Sound, which is a biker fest.
Where's
which
that at?
It's going to be in
Elon.
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 Okay.
Yeah. So it's
not far.
May 20th and May 21st. We're playing on the first
Yeah,
day.
it's that
Cool.
weekend.
What all do you guys have for shows, in the next few months through March and April?
So March, we got, if we're going out,
I can cheat. I have
Yeah,
my phone right
cheat.
here.
Yeah, please
You
do. Yeah, and we'll cut all of this.
Yeah, while he's looking it up, I think that was we were talking about evolving and stuff. I think that was honestly one of the best things that COVID did for us.
Yeah.
Is because before COVID, we were working hard.
Yeah,
don't
we
get
were
me
playing
wrong.
a whole bunch.
But it was we kind of got a little burnt out.
Yeah, man.
Because we started at zero and working so hard,
And we
doing
were
all the
pushing
stuff we were
ourselves
doing.
very hard too.
And maybe I know for me at least, I was just going full speed and didn't really have time to stop and figure out the direction.
Yeah.
And having that time to kind of sit back and say, hey, what do I really want and where do I focus my energy helps a lot. And I think there's been a lot of us who, over the pandemic, it was kind of a result of it that,
It was helpful in some ways.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. I know it was for me. I was talking to Seth before this, and I was scrolling through my recordings for 2019, and I was up 300 some odd times that year, and I was planning on doing even more than that the next year. And I'm, in 2020, I'm not positive I'd have made it out of that healthy. You know what I mean? I was going too hard. I was spending too much energy. And now getting that rest and being able to refocus was really helpful.
And so, we'd had that break. And then coming back together, I think we've all, like, we play better together. We are working better together as like a team.
More efficiently.
Yeah,
I
more
feel like
efficiently.
we appreciate it more versus before we appreciated it, but it was also the mindset of, okay, well, we have to do another practice this week. We got shows coming up. We're trying to book more. We're trying to do so much versus when we were forced to step back.
Then we started being like, what do we actually like about this?
Yeah.
It's like because it's fun playing music, but like when you start going hard, like playing all the time, we got to book more shows, we got to do this, we got to do that, then it becomes less fun. Mm-hmm. And then we step back and then we're like, okay, what do we actually want to do? What do we like doing? That's what
the key of that.
Well, and also figuring out what each of you is good at, you know what I mean? And being able to do the editing and learning the editing and having the studio and working all that, coming from different directions, working as a legit team is huge, man.
And that's great for our Live from Linda's series is because we film it that night and it's pretty much a one shot. And then we are recording the audio we're doing right then and there. So by the end of the night, as long as we do for our personal songs, he throws the lyrics up on there. But we can pretty much have the video and the audio ready to go by the end of the night if it's a cover that we're doing, because we're not going to throw the lyrics up to somebody else's song.
Right.
And it can be done within 4 hours.
Hell yeah.
So my wife shoots it. Like, she's the one that is filming it all. So she shoots it. Jeff does the audio editing, and then we edit down the video, and then put it all on the drive. Then I add the lyrics, and then we upload it, schedule it, ready to roll. And
does your wife have a background in film, or is that just something she picked up for you guys? Or?
She actually, when I was living in Nashville, I was really into photography and videography, and she, like, when we started dating, she really wanted to get into it, so bought her camera, and she just was way better than me, and I was like, great,
that's awesome, man.
You're gonna take my thing, that's fine, but like,
please take it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well, now it's great because like she can, like, just film us all the time.
She enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She likes to, like, she's very artsy, and
very cool.
she likes being artsy with it.
Well, one thing from a business perspective, I always, if I'm working or working with an entrepreneur or a small business owner, and trying to help, if I'm consulting a client, I always try to encourage people to whatever their business is, to get that business running as efficiently as possible. Structure, build a good management structure, have good processes in place so the business runs efficiently. But then as soon as that business is running efficiently, start trying to duplicate that business, start trying to expand it. Because if you're the one that's running that business, then you really just have a job. Yeah. And you can't, because you only have so many hours in the day. So if you can find a way to replace yourself, then you can duplicate your efforts over and over and over again. And eventually you'll have if you can create a business that runs efficiently and smoothly and has a good management structure, it doesn't take all your time, and you can sort of oversee it, and then you can hire people to oversee it while they just report to you, and then you can go on and keep doing more things. But in art, it's different, because in art, you're the artist.
Yeah, you're the one.
You can't hire someone to do you can, but then it's not you.
Yeah.
So it's not, so it's your expression. But the cool thing about today is everything's so digital that you guys can get your band where you want it to this high level and create really good art. But at the same time, you can, in some ways, you can duplicate yourselves, because you can put out videos, you can put out different types of content, you can start creating multiple revenue streams for your band, and independent bands like you guys can can make 7 figures a year just through all these different revenue streams, through social media and YouTube, and then also through merch and stuff like that.
Yeah, we actually do that in-house too.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah,
I'll tell you, 5 figures a year would be great.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up in a few minutes if there's anything you want to ask. And then I'd like to, just so we know, and we talked a little bit before we started, but for people who want to support you, like, you know, I know you guys don't want to ask for anything. Let me do it. Like, what's the best, most efficient way? Is it just a follow on social media? Is it a share of a video? Is there a different way that, you know, people can buy your music, support what you're doing, and keep pushing you along the path you're on?
I think the most important thing, like, we're really trying to build up our following, like just getting the word out to more people. So, like, liking us on Facebook, follow on Instagram, keep up with all that kind of stuff. Because then all this, we're working on so many different ways. It's like there's a lot of stuff. Even if you don't like our music, you might like our beer show or you know. So,
It's time for my kids to go do the flags. I only have one alarm for school, and that is to get the kids to go do flags, because if I forget to tell them to go take the flags down, I have to do it myself.
Yeah, man.
So that one, it goes off at 2:50 every day.
A teacher.
Yeah.
Teaches religion and
Literature.
Interesting.
Yeah, cool.
So with the supporting you on social media and all that stuff, your music, if somebody wants to listen, what's the best way to do it? Is that through the Facebook,
Spotify,
YouTube?
Apple Music.
Wait, he's a teacher, but he's here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I took a half day.
Half day. Hell yeah, man.
It was great walking, like talking to the other teachers, being like, "All right, you know, I'm leaving at noon today," and they're like, "Oh yeah, where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm just gonna go be on a podcast," and they were like, "Oh, okay."
That's funny. Had to address that.
So as far as finding and listening to the music, what's the
Spotify, Apple
Definitely
Music.
Spotify.
Hell yeah.
More Spotify than Apple Music.
Apple Music pays more.
What's your YouTube channel again?
It's just Chuck Mountain.
Just Chuck Mountain.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we had you looking up dates.
Yeah, so we are playing March 12th at Little Brother and Graham. We are doing, let's see.
We're at Tappet Bar in Smithfield on the 25th of March.
And then Cabarrus Brewing on the 26th.
Very cool.
And then April 2nd
Boxcar.
Boxcar.
And then Fiddle and Fish in Winston-Salem on the 15th.
What is the second? Is that, what day is that?
It's a Saturday.
Maybe
should go check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
man,
be
for
Jesse Dunk's. It's in the new event space,
We've
too.
had Jesse on the show before.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's back in the new event space, and I actually did the bar face for it. So,
And you said there's going to be a kangaroo there?
oh yeah, in the afternoon they're doing some like exotic animal thing, so there'll be a kangaroo there, and
Wow.
I'm really excited about that because I want to see the kangaroo.
You get to box the kangaroo.
That's my hope.
I would not. I think they're pretty good at
I'll
it.
get
think they
knocked
win,
out.
Some people like to get hurt though.
Yeah, that's fair.
It makes good songs.
Yeah, they had good content. I'll video it.
Yeah, talk about content. There you go.
Maybe it's worth it.
You got anything?
No, I think.
You guys mind playing something for us?
Yeah, I'd love to see you guys play.
Cool.
Thanks for being here, man. We really
Awesome. Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This place is super cool.
Thanks,
Happy to
man.
be
I'd like
back.
to have you back, and we'll have you back on the other side on my show as well, man. It'd be
Yeah.
very cool.
Sure.
Sounds great.
Yeah, let's play some.
All right.
Sweet.